are live again. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. I would love to know where you are currently watching this live or replay from. So if you can comment down below and let's engage in a chat. It's January 10, 2025, 6:18 p.m. here in Canada, and I'm really very excited to start this conversation, this discussion. Welcome here. We have a special guest tonight. I'm really very excited to speak with Kuya Joseph, and I know I have given his name. I've given his name in the invites, but yeah, I am going to talk and discuss with Kuya Joseph tonight. I am pretty sure we are going to learn a lot from his story because he is also, and this is why I'm excited because he's also an IT professional here in Canada. So this is one of the similarities that we had. So again, I used to be an SAP programmer back in the Philippines, and I believe he was in IT infrastructure in the banking industry. But he will be the one to introduce himself, and he is actually one of those fellow digital business owners that I had the privilege to meet last December during our Christmas party in Toronto, and he's a very humble, nice person. So, without further ado, let's welcome Kuya Joseph. Hello.
Hello,
Kuya.
hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning.
Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself, Kuya.
Oh yes. So, first of all, Ariane, maraming salamat. Thank you so much for the invite. Sharing this spotlight and opportunity with you in the social media. Uh, I am so glad to be here, and I'm very proud to be sharing this spotlight with you today. So anyway, yeah, just a little bit about me. My name is Joseph. I am from Hamilton, Canada, originally from Manila, Philippines. We migrated here with my parents and siblings in 1980. I am a retired IT professional from the banking industry. I served about 34 years of my career in one company, which I'm very proud of. I am a wife. Sorry, I have a husband. Sorry, I have a wife. I have a wife and two young adults. Um, and I am a financial advocate, self-taught on financial planning and retirement planning. And at the same time, I'm a very active stock market and real estate investor. So December 2023 is when I started this digital business and never looked back. So I'm so proud to be part of this community who is um, absolutely thriving year over year. And I'm just so glad that I've met some great people and coaches and mentors along the way. So that's about me. Thank you so much.
Great introduction, Kuya. Thank you. And thank you for accepting the invite because, again, to our audience, if you've been following me in my business page, the Go Lives, Kuya Joseph was one of the first persons who actually interviewed me.
Yes.
So last year, we had an interview, siya yung interviewer. So right now, ako naman, we switch roles.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the title of our discussion for tonight is A Digital Shift, an IT Professional's Leap into Digital Business Ownership. And that was already, because Kuya already had an introduction earlier. So yan, he was an IT professional before. And now, he took the leap into digital business ownership. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So yeah. So our first question, Kuya, is we want to know, your we are both IT, right? We were both in IT. And life of an IT professional back in the Philippines is different from life of an IT professional here in Canada. Kasi syempre iba-iba naman yung dynamics, right? We're in different countries. And my experience back then was that I was trading time for money because we knew that if you have a job in the IT industry, most people would say that we are in a secured job,
Mhm.
in a secured industry. We're comfortable. We have a high paying job. Those are the things, the thoughts of the people around us. But we want to know. I want to know, Kuya. I'm curious to know what was your day to day like back then, in your IT career, and how did it shape your initial thoughts about career stability?
So career stability?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Alam mo, that's a very good question. Yung mga questions ko sa'yo, madadali lang. Ito, very, no, it's good. It's a good question. It's a good question. So, first of all, you mentioned something that I remembered very dearly with me. Kasi I was looking to actually work sa Philippines. I actually wanted to, I was thinking, paano kaya if I work in the Philippines and how it's going to be like, what's going to be the dynamics, what's going to be, working with fellow Filipinos and stuff like that. So I kind of touched on that in one of my dreams, of course. But to answer your question, alam mo, here in North America, no, I'm a true believer. After working for so many years, I'm a true believer that um, although the IT industry has a high-paying job, it also is also what I call high pressured job as well. It to me, it comes with the the title, of course, no, the title of reaching a certain level in the corporate world is it carries weight, and once you're in that title, a bigger responsibility, I know, happens, right? You have more responsibility. That means you also have more pressure, more demand from obviously the executives and from the company itself. So to me, although a lot of people perceive now, IT people get paid well, yes, but we sacrifice a lot too. We sacrifice a lot of our time, we sacrifice our family, sometimes we forget ourselves, that we sacrifice our health, right? And all these things I've learned throughout my career, 34 years, that at some point, like what you just said, I no longer wanted to trade my time for money, because along the way, mga nangyari sa akin and sa family ko, right? Although they are always my first priority, if and when you get sick or you're unhealthy, you have to um, obviously take care of yourself first, and it's difficult when you are unhealthy, tapos you have so much pressure and so much responsibilities, right? It really affects you, especially longevity. It will affect you somehow, some way. So when I found out more and more, my perspective started to shift a bit, to say, hey, you know what, I think my health is more important, because if I'm not healthy, i'm not I'm not doing any good for myself, and I'm not doing any good for my family and my loved ones, right? So I mean, unfortunately in life, there's always, excuse me, a priority that we have to choose, and unfortunately there are times it cannot be both. So I always tell my staff, I remember, every time, my staff member and I meet during, reviews or performance reviews and stuff, we always talk about um, priorities in life, right? I always never forget to mention their health is the number one priority. Their health, they have to be healthy, for them to sustain themselves and to help themselves and to help their family. And then second is their family comes second, because if there's anything that they need from me, or from any type of appointments or responsibilities, family comes second. And then third is their job. Their job will always remain as is, and it's never going to change. It's always going to be There's always going to be enough demand of their job. And I know anyway, that they do an outstanding job. So I'm there really to just support and what do you call this, and mentor them and motivate them to do the best they can. But health and family, there's no compromise on those two things. And that's why, you know, I hear you when you say, no, yeah, IT is great. It's a well-paying job, but we do pay the price for it as well, at the same time. So now going into the career, you said career what was it? Sustainability?
Yeah, stability, yes.
Stability, sorry, yeah, career stability. So yes, I mean, it's a very competitive market out there. Um, no matter which country you're in, I think it's very competitive when it comes to IT. But I think one of the things that I've learned is when we do the best that we can, and we number one thing that I learned is, my leaders always say, always take care of your people, right? So I have that mindset with one of our executives who I met long, long time ago. He's one of the senior vice president that really, became my coach and mentor. And he told me that, you know, he says, Joseph, he actually sat me down in his office. He actually sat me down in the office and, and said to me that whatever it is, just take care of your people, take care of your staff members, because once you take care of your staff members, they will take care of the rest. So that resonated with me. And ever since then, I became more of a people person, right? A people manager, right? For many, many years. And one of the things that really stabilized my position in my career is really dealing with people, dealing with them with dignity and respect, right? And I always put them as number one. Whenever there's something that they need to talk to me about, or whenever there's something that they need from me, everything else, sort of drops, and then we talk, we sit down and say, okay, what's wrong? And I put them as my first priority, because that's how I was um, coached, and that's how I was taught in the corporate world, right? And that's why this digital business resonates a lot with me, because as a manager, uh, all you really want is for your staff members and colleagues to shine and get rewarded, right? And this business fits with that mentality and that principle, is people first. And this is exactly why I also joined this business, is because I really want to see and help people, um, change their life and thrive, and get rewarded for the things that they do with this digital business. So sorry, it's a long drawn out thing, but that is that is really my true experience in the corporate world here in Canada. So
So it's always I always love to know more about you our fellow business owners, kuya. So hindi yan mahaba. We always have time for that.
yeah, alam mo, I have so many stories to share, in throughout my career, and I keep telling everyone that we'll be here all day, all night. But yeah, no, I'm glad for the question, and thank you so much. That was a mouthful, pero I think it's a very important question, and thank you for asking for that.
Maybe in another life, kuya, I could be one of your people. Can you be my boss?
That's why hanga ako sa eh. That's why, I've sorry, we're sort of digressing, but um, I also had a lot of interviews, and I also had a lot of candidates and applicants throughout my career. And I know already, after speaking to that applicant, within 10 or 15 minutes interview, I know whether I'm going to hire that person or not. So it's almost the same thing as when I met you. When I met you, I knew in 15 minutes, I knew you would be a great worker, a great IT professional. So That's
Thank
why,
you. Yeah, I
yeah,
flattered.
I'm quite impressed with you, and especially what you know as the background of SAP. That is, one of the best platforms out there. So congrats to you.
Thank you, Kuya. All just a shout out. So Catherine, hi Catherine, they're
Oh,
watching from
right.
Saskatchewan.
Yes.
And Coach Katrina,
Oh,
thank you
Coach
for
K.
watching. Hello, how are you guys? So yeah, so thank you for watching, guys. So yeah, so again, Kuya, it's not a long answer, and we always have time for that. We always love to know more about our fellow digital business owners, right? Because we each have our own story.
Yeah.
Our stories are unique. We have our own experiences, and we love to learn a lot from those different experiences as well. But going to the next question, because in relation to the first question, Kuya, since you were comfortable, right, you had a stable career in the IT industry for how many years? 30 plus.
34.
Right? So I wonder if you have like um if there was any day that you thought that you wanted to quit, or you maybe wanna change careers, and yeah, can you tell us a story?
Many times I wanted to change careers. Many times I wanted to change. I didn't want to, believe it or not, I did not want to change the company. The company is such a great company. The leaders in the corporation that I used to work for is top notch, right? Top notch. And they really do take care of their people. But it's more of the middleman, the middle management, where, there are times that they want to change, but that the change will not cannot happen because your team very well, right? There, we're taught to adapt change all the time, and that's normal. Adapting to change, and we do adapt. People do adapt with the right leadership and the right messaging and the right what you call with the right things that right plans. Okay, just put it this way, let's just right planning, and everybody is really willing to change. But there are times where people just walk in and they think that they can just change the world just like that, right? A lot of this because they're under pressure and stuff like that, and we understand that. But if people, or if those middle managers really just sit down and understand the lay of the land and understand where the people is coming from, and actually, to be honest with you, if they're actually just trying to solve a problem, then the change is warranted and the change will happen. But sometimes it doesn't solve the problem, it just creates more. So those are the moments where, being in the position I was in, and that's, it's not only myself, it's a lot of my peers as well, and my colleagues as well are in the same boat, that we're in the middle of middle management versus the staff members, right? So we listen to our people, and we're very close to our people, but at the same time there's a gap where middle management wants something different. So that's where, times where can get stressful, and the only way to actually to get around it is really to discuss it and communicate, and continue to understand the problem, the solution, and connecting the dots and making sure that we're on the same path or same goal. There are times that it really became very stressful, but somehow, we managed through. We managed to push through. But those are challenges that we all go through, right? I mean, and that's what, one thing that I've learned over the past is those things make you stronger, makes you more resilient, makes you think out of the box, makes you think of the future, and obviously the risks and impact along that goes with it. and it comes with it comes with the territory, it comes with the responsibility. So um, yeah, the best thing that we did was really being very transparent and communicate a lot to those that are impacted, and making sure that we're all on the same page when it comes to problem resolution, right? So
Wow.
yeah, it's definitely a learning journey, and it's a matter of you know um, taking the people with you in that journey, and making sure that no one gets left behind, and everybody understands where they stand and what the situation will be in the end, right? So yeah, a lot of, when they say management, a lot of management.
Wow, that was awesome, Kuya. I totally can relate to that.
Yeah.
I actually remembered, my time as well before. And you were right when you said that we are in the middle. Like most of the time, we're always in the middle because we have users, we have management, right?
Yes.
And I agree when you said that communication is really key,
Hmm.
because when you're in the middle, it's not just, you cannot just agree on one side, right? You
Yes.
have to make the relationship like somehow you need to agree on both sides, but you have to compromise. Yeah.
Mhm. One thing I truly learned is just take the time and effort to invest on the people, right? Take the time and effort to invest on the people, no matter who they are. Just take the time and effort to invest in them, because they are worth it, and they will appreciate it down the road, right? They will appreciate it down the road.
Amazing.
So,
So going to our next question, Kuya. So doon naman tayo sa business side. Don't
oh,
you, yeah. So, can you walk us through that moment or series? Because you're now retired, right? Can you walk us through that moment or series of events that made you really start thinking about exploring this digital business? How did you find this? What was your initial reaction?
my gosh, alam mo, Ariane, to me, it was a blessing. To me, when I found this digital business, it was certainly a blessing. And when I first looked into it, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I could not believe what I was hearing. And to me, I said to myself, nah, nah. I was so obviously I was skeptical, right? Being in IT, we kind of know what to look for and stuff like that. But this digital business, you don't even need to be an IT professional or tech savvy. So when I saw the ad from Coach Katrina, it resonated with me right away. Why? Because, well, first of all, I saw her ad when she was in Boracay with the family, and each time that we visited the Philippines, my family and I were always in Boracay. Always. We love that place, right? And when I saw her ad, obviously she was explaining how uh, uh, she can work remote, and she has all the time and freedom with her family. And she was able to earn while traveling. So those were just a few things that I've seen on her video, and sure enough, it resonated with me, because this is exactly what I was looking for even before. Because what had happened was, a long, long time ago, I was really, really stressed at work. I was really very stressed, and I ended up in the hospital for a major surgery. And so that meant that I had to go on long-term disability. And during that time, I really thought about, well, obviously, being in long-term disability, you know that your income is a lot less than what you're normally getting. And I was in the hospital for a few months, and got thinking about what would be the future, and what happened. I was kind of scared as to, if this reoccurs again, then you know that is a risk. And not, the last thing was, my kids were still in high school at the time, but it obviously, being in long-term disability, it impacted our savings. and our retirement plans and income. So that really got me really worried, and it sort of woke me up in a way, in such a way that I can't I can't let this happen again, right? But I'm in the position. I mean, I don't know where to go, because I have, obviously I have my position, I have my role in the bank, and obviously I have to continue, pushing through. So I had to really think about our future, and when I got sick, my whole life perspective just shifted, and I said I got to start finding something that would be less impact if I'm not well, or if something was to happen again. I need something sustainable for my family, right? So that since then, and that was way before the pandemic, way before the global crisis, right? So since then, I was already looking for a digital business, and along the way, when the global pandemic happened, it proved to me that the digital business or the online business is the way to go, because it is foolproof, right? So the test of the global pandemic, where everything was shut down while the online and digital business were thriving, that was an ultimate test for me. Because if I was going to invest on any business, obviously we want something that's foolproof, and any market downturns, it will sustain and it will survive, right? So the sort of the dots were lining up, when I saw this digital business, and I was so happy, and I said, this can't be true, because when I dug deeper into it, I just called it a gold mine, because really, to me, no one fails in this digital business. The only failure that you will probably face is if you give up, but there is no failure there. Everything, like I said, comparing it with even a brick and mortar business that my wife and I had before. We managed it for 5 years, our franchise business for 5 years. When I compared with that, that was more riskier than this digital business now these days. And I was just totally blown away with the way the business model was created and how it all started. I mean, to me, Mike and Darren, who are the founders of this digital business, they are the true entrepreneurs. We are just the ones that are actually carrying it on and spreading it across the globe. But they're the ones that actually a true entrepreneur, that we're just following their footsteps and applying what, or duplicating, right? They call it duplicating um, the business, so that we can operate ourselves. So, yeah, it's a true gold mine. And to me, this is such a great opportunity for anyone that want to start a digital business, or even a business on their own. It's just, I call it, to me, people, I call it a hybrid, right? A hybrid solution. Because I'll tell you something. I just did a go live earlier, right? My message to everyone is that, bottom line, people are looking for a solution, right? And this business is definitely a solution to their problem in in their lifestyle, right? This is the solution for that problem, and that problem is really about financial independence and freedom. Bottom line, that's really what everybody is looking for. I mean, we all are in this digital business, all 250,000 of us in this digital business. We all came from different walks of life, but our goal is all the same, is being and having the financial freedom for us and our family, right? So that is the solution that I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well said, Kuya. Well said. Because I totally agree. When you said that the only chance that you're gonna fail in this business is if you quit.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I saw too.
Yep.
Because I also checked other business models before.
Yep.
I got invited into different business presentations, and
Mhm.
I've never seen anything like this one.
Mhm.
And for us as IT professionals, I think what got us in is the automation, right? It's also one of the ways that we can have a business in the digital space that continues to run even when we are sleeping, right? Even when we are so busy, even if we have a day job. So I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, amazing, amazing.
I like the fact that you brought up the automation, because to me, when I was looking at starting a digital business, there were three pillars, that three ingredients that were very, very important to me. One is the technology, which is the automation you just talked about. Number two is the products and services, right? That is part of this digital business, which is affiliation with the company, right? Affiliation with the company. And then third is the people. Without those three, I don't believe any business will thrive.
Mm,
These three pillars, they have to be present, and they have to be efficiently working, and that's exactly what this digital business is. Those three pillars are definitely the three important things that people should be looking for. People, we take it all for granted, but when I started a digital business before with an FDA, there are no people available, no community available to ask you questions, or to mentor you, or to coach you, or to give you ideas, to give you tips, to give you tips and tricks and advice. This, with the community that we have, and not only that, it's throughout the whole world, different continents, and you can ask the question in a few minutes and it'll get answered, right? Because we're global. So those, to me, those three pillars, if anybody is looking for a digital business, those three pillars must exist, and they must be working all an effective way.
yeah, right. Awesome. I actually agree with the technology and
Mhm.
was it the products and the
Service.
because we know every business would have that. And
Yes.
especially now that we're moving into the digital space, like even other businesses before that traditional, or maybe they have a different business model before, they're moving into digitizing
Mhm.
and going into the online space to market and promote their businesses. But what is the most important to me is the people,
Oh
really.
yeah.
Yeah, because I always say this when I promote our digital business. This is what they're this is the very thing that they won't see anywhere else.
Oh yeah.
The community that we have,
Yes. Yeah.
right? Because the community is going to be composed of different people, different dynamics, but how we built this community, it's such a unique one. Like nakakatuwa. Natutuwa
Yeah. Yeah.
because there are people whom you might be like whom you meet that you don't really get along well with, but here in this community it's like we're welcoming each other. It's like we're congratulating each other every day, like we're learning from each other every day. And so that is the beauty of this community.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
and we all speak different languages
Oh
too.
yeah. Yeah, different nationalities, different languages, dialects. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So going to the let's see first if we have comments here. Oh, Tita Offie. Hello, hello,
Wow.
hello.
Yeah,
Thank you for
okay.
watching from California. And so yeah, let's go to the next question. Now, what was it hard for you, Kuya, doing this business? Because you've been in the IT industry for 30 plus years, and then you shifted into to being a digital business owner. Although I know that you've been in probably different businesses before, right? And you said you were a self-taught finance advocate. So, was it hard for you? What was the biggest challenge for you in shifting into being an entrepreneur online?
Yeah, no, it wasn't hard at all because you know why? The mindset that I had before was certainly in line with the same mindset that this digital business have instilled on everyone in this digital business. So my mindset has always been the same, and it's always been, I am thinking always positive, right? Always thinking that if I want to reach my goal, I have to take on some risks, right? And I have to learn from those risks and challenges, and that's exactly what we did in the IT world as well, right? Exactly, that's how you can say that's how we got paid well too, taking all that those risks and challenges, right? But yeah, no, the mindset was very easy. It wasn't even a big change. What I had challenges with is time management. It really is something that I had struggled because my wife and I were actually in the middle of building our house and decorating our house when I started the business. So I had a lot of issues with multiple tasks in a day with certain contractors here and there in and out of the house, while at the same time trying to focus on my digital business. But uh, to me, that was the only thing. The time management was the only thing. But in terms of training, learning, it was all the same. I mean, it was very easy to learn using all the video training and all the documentation with coaches and mentors along your side and trying to explain to you, the pretty much the operations of the business. All that was not even hard to understand. It's just having patience, right? Having patience and really staying focused, right? But those were not even, again, they're not hard. Again, to me, it's just time management was something that I had to deal with and something that I I I would say struggled with because of just so many things happening every day, something new every day, and I have to. And the thing is that my wife and I were so hands-on with this house decoration and building that um, I couldn't just drop it and then focus on the business. I had to juggle. So, yeah, no, that's really what made me what were my challenges. And but I asked so many questions. I think people, I don't know if you remember that some of the drop-in Zooms, I always ask a lot of questions because I'm trying to learn at the same time. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's been a great journey.
Yeah, but that I admire you, Kuya. Because you've been really very patient, persevering in your digital business, and I saw that too. Like you were always there in the drop in
Yeah.
in the daily trainings. Yeah, but I agree when you said that time management could be a problem because since we're global,
Mhm.
there's a lot of things happening here and there, and you don't know if you're not organized. You don't know, you'll miss something. You'll miss the Zoom, something like that. But
Yeah.
what's great in this digital business is that we have replays, right?
Yes.
And everything is actually handed out to us. It's just us
Mhm.
who's gonna make time for it, who's gonna be patient with it, because we're running our own digital businesses as well,
Mhm.
right? And when we're embarking in a business, we know that we are all going to start with zero, right?
Mhm.
Zero knowledge. So we really had to put time in learning. So
Yep.
yeah, so before we wrap up, Kuya, so this is gonna be the last but not the least question. I know we have a lot of stories. Like I can sit here for how many hours, right? But yeah, so of course we have to end it in a little while. So here's the last question. So where do you see this digital business heading in the next few years?
Oh my. I really think that this digital business will get adopted by a lot more people. I think we are at about 200 and I don't know, 30, 240,000 now, maybe or so. I have a feeling it's going to triple or quadruple. I really think so. Because when I joined, it was 189 or 187,000 when I joined December 2023. Um, to me, this opportunity will sell, meaning it will get adopted by a lot of business entrepreneurs, because to me it's a hybrid talaga siya, eh. It's a hybrid business model, excuse me, that has the franchise type slash what do you call it, franchise slash I don't know, you can call that high commission items or whatever, but it's just the compensation plan is so attractive now, and that people will adapt this with no issues, right? It's just, to me, it's just a matter of advertising it and marketing it to the right type of people, right? The mindset, the people that are that can see or can vision what it can do for them, right? Because people, I hear a lot of our business partners talk about, oh, they're concerned because they're not tech savvy, or they're concerned that they might not be able to learn, or can they do this themselves. But really, if you listen to that, that's the only factor, is them. Nothing else, right? Nothing else. So if you really think about starting your own business or digital business, there are a lot more risks, right? Involved in a very traditional way. But this, the only risk is really yourself, if you can do it or not. But that's very small compared to all the other risks of starting a business, diba?
Yes,
To
yes.
me, this digital business, I've called it as a gold mine, and I'm just so blessed to be part of it. It's the only thing I always say to myself is, how come I wish this was available sooner? Pero I know it wasn't available sooner because it wasn't matured yet, right? Everything, there's always a time for everything.
Timing, yeah.
Yeah, there's always timing. So um, yeah, things weren't matured yet, things weren't available yet, and like our co-founders said, this has been 8 years in the making. This actual business model is 8 years in the making, but the actual affiliation with the company is 50 years already. So I mean, that's huge. That is huge to me. There's so much. This business will continue to evolve, and it will have more business owners down the road for sure. No question. No question.
Yeah, amazing. Yes, as as IT professionals, coming from the IT industry, 'di ba, we know, kuya, that um, automation, the new tools right now, AI, that's so
Mhm.
big, billion-dollar industries right now, and it's gonna help actually our digital business to skyrocket in the next few
Yes.
years.
Yeah.
And it's I'm really very excited for it. Yeah. So yeah, so that's it, I guess, from us. Do you have any other final words, kuya, to our audience?
Yeah, well, my final word is really to those people who are actually watching this, and people that are on the fence, right? There's, I mean, you can only be on the fence for so long, right? Eventually, things will die off, and you won't have any of those urge of you wanting to start something. So my only advice to everyone is, take baby steps, right? Take baby steps. So if you found something that you are passionate about, or something that suits or aligns to your dreams and goals, take the plunge and take that step forward and commit to it, and do your due diligence, research heavily, right? Try to answer some of your questions, some of your doubts, and that's the only way to get them answered. Really, is to face them head on, and just do your research, and educate yourself. Education is the key. Education, like educating yourself, and finding ways to overcome some of your negativity or fears, will help you move forward, right? So the only my only suggestion really is, to take the leap of faith and take the baby steps, and
Yeah.
wish you all the best.
Yes, yes. Like, yeah, totally agree. Baby steps. Yeah, I like that what you said, Kuya. And we know that there are a lot of people like looking in from the outside and seeing this could be like not, this is too good to be true, or it might be a scam. But I always tell them as well that maybe you haven't researched yet, like further, like you haven't done your deep dive yet.
Yep.
Because when you do that, when you've seen what's inside, I don't think that there's anything that could make you say no.
No.
Like, it's just your own limitations, like beliefs, right,
Yep.
that would stop you from doing this digital business. And maybe you're looking at other digital businesses too, and you might have seen others that are like almost similar, but what we have for you, the webinar, the info session, is just the surface, right? There's a lot more to that. So we highly encourage you to sign up for our free info session and then take the next steps.
Yep.
Pay the 149 USD anyway. It's refundable. You have a money back guarantee within 30 days. And you don't need to really worry about that because we can issue the refund right away if you don't like it, right?
Right. That's
What's
right.
important is that you've checked you've explored the business, the opportunity, what's inside, how do we really earn here, and then decide for you, for yourself, for your family as well, because most of the people that are inside this community, our goal is to have a better life for our family,
Yeah.
for our
Yeah.
families, right? So I guess that's it. Thank you so much, Kuya Joseph, for accepting this invite. I really had fun talking to you. I hope to see you again soon, very soon. And yeah, so we can end this conversation. So thank you so
Yeah.
much, Kuya. Have a
Thank you,
great
then.
night.
Thank you. Maraming
Bye.
salamat. Thank you.